Good morning. What's up, everybody? Sorry for the late start today. 11:01. Where are we? Where are we in the calendar? I think it's the 2nd, right? May 2nd? March 2nd? May 2nd? May 1st? May 1st. Friday, May 1st. All right, May 1st. We made it to May. We made it to May. Let me check that on my calendar. Where are we in May? Okay, I have a thing later today. We're good to go. All right, hope everybody's good. Hope everybody's great. What's up, Grounds crew? Everybody that's here. I have no idea what we're going to watch on the show yet. I messed around a little bit yesterday, trying to make an app to help sort performances with the top 100 prospects and some couple other things. So we'll get there. We'll get there for a while. We'll get there soon, and then that'll be a lot easier. But anyway, I hope you guys are good. And we will do how we usually do. We'll head over here to the main screen, and we will get started closing out some stuff here. And we will reload the standings, and we'll see where we stand on Friday. All new series kicking off tonight for the most part. Maybe a few started on Thursdays, but for the most part, Friday's always the start of a new series. Man, I see some people down on the Giants right in here. Victoria, anyone know of a good closer for the Giants? Giants maybe headed into Mets territory. You definitely don't want to go into Mets territory right now. What else we got? Kyle Harrison might be worth a look. Brewers changed his arm slot, moved him from third to first base side of the rubber. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Here's where we are. So let's do the standings real quick to kick off the show today. All right, Yankees AL East 20-11. They start a series tonight versus Baltimore at the stadium. They're a game and a half up on the Rays and 8 up on the last place Red Sox, who are 12-9. They open a series up with Houston. I believe they have a debut today, so that you'll get a video for that if that's the case. Hold on, I just got to tell my wife something for 1 second, so I'm going to mute. All right, we're back. All right, AL Central. Cleveland and Detroit are tied atop the division at 16-16. This one's pretty jumbled. The Royals are only 3.5 back, despite the fact that they've played really bad baseball, I would say, to open this season. They are 12-19. In the AL West, Sacramento A's 17-14, game and a half up on Seattle. Seattle's gotten back to 500, so they're working back into this thing. Houston, 12-20, are actually tied with the Angels now at the bottom of the division, but they're only 5.5 back. The Angels in particular look like they're headed into a bad spot right now. Their bullpen is in a bad spot. They're in shambles a little bit over there. All right, NL East, Braves 22-10, first place 6.5 up on the Marlins, who are a game under 500. We all know who's in last in this one. It's the Mets. They're 10-21, 11.5 back. They just had another really rough stretch where they got swept by the Rockies, lost 2 out of 3 to the Nats, which is sad, unfortunately, for them. They head out west now. They have a game against the Angels tonight, so 2 struggling teams are going at it tonight in Anaheim. Phillies have won 3 in a row since Donnie Baseball took over. Not really sure that he's any different than Tomper, but they have won 3 in a row. All right, NL Central, Cincinnati Reds 20-11, game up on the Cubbies. This division continues to be strong. Pirates are now in last place at 500 at 16-16, 4.5 back. Cardinals have been very surprising so far. They are 18-13. That's very notable. And then in the NL West, Dodgers half game up on the Padres, 20-11. Giants are in last place. A lot of people worried about the Giants. 13-18. Negative 26 run differential. They open up a series with the Rays tonight. So let me hop in the chat here, see what you guys are talking about here, and then we will we'll get into it a little bit. What happened with Skenes last night? I guess we'll investigate that. That's worth investigating for sure. I think the Cardinals beat him. Who thought the Giants were good, though? I wasn't sure what to expect with the Giants when this season opened. I expressed concerns over their pitching staff, and I feel like that has sort of come to pass as well, as the offense has been rough. And mainly it's because of this fact right here. Devers is looking like, I'm not going to say done yet because he's 29 years old, but we have to definitely dig in on Rafi at some point because he's off to a rough start, and it's looking like that was a tough trade on both sides, but particularly now from the Giants side because they have a lot of dead money that they're going to have to take on if he doesn't become Rafi Devers again. If the Mets can't beat this Angels team, it really might be over. I think there's something here about Drew Gilbert. Did you see Drew Gilbert catching the walk-off fly ball really low to try and get the runner to leave early on the tag? No, but that's so fascinating that I want to jump right over to that and see if I can see that. Mitch is saying that that's an actual strategy. Mitch, you got that as being a strategy? Did see that next level thinking that's becoming more common, but the only way they maybe would have escaped that. All right, so who did the Giants play last night? I know they lost, obviously, because they're not playing good baseball right now. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the Phillies. That's right, in the doubleheader. So this was the walk-off here at the end of this game, maybe? Giants-Phillies. Let's see here. Yeah, here it is. All right, let's see if we could see him do this. Let's see what we're talking about here. This is interesting to me. All right, so it's too deep, obviously. You can't throw anybody at the plate from here. Oh, kind of a sick... I love this. This is a next-level move by Drew Gilbert. Also, he actually threw that ball home all the way. So the idea here is they anticipate you to catch it above your head, so maybe the runner leaves early as you kind of fake him out and catch it super low to the ground. And then maybe he leaves early and he doesn't realize he left early. Then you can go ahead and double him off. That would be the idea behind that. Let's look at the high home, see if there's any hesitation from the runner on third, which I think is Adolis. He did a good job. He didn't leave early, and he made sure. And I think the benefit of this a little bit is that he's so far back. This play might have worked had it been a little bit closer and a little bit more like of a debate whether you can get thrown out or not, something like at this depth, because that's kind of on the cusp of where you can throw a runner out. This is actually a fun exercise that you can do with your kids, in low-level pro ball or college ball or whatever, or even high school ball. Try to test how deep the outfielder has to be to really actually have a chance. The odds are, at whatever level you're coaching or playing at, it's going to be a lot closer than you think. I remember them talking about this in Instructs when I was with the Cardinals. Like, you would think in your mind that, you could still throw somebody out from this deep, but pretty much no. Like, you pretty much have to be like maybe there and in. So it's useful to know. It's useful to at least find that out. So that was pretty cool. We'll watch that one more time. Drew Gilbert trying to be slick here. I actually think it's a nice move. I actually think it's a nice move a lot.
Gilbert going back. He's settling under it. Garcia will tag, and here comes the winning.
I feel like we are seeing more outfield fakes too, making it look like they'll make a catch to try to keep a runner close. I mean, you see a lot of the basic deke where the guy puts their hand up, real quick, flashes the glove to make people think that they're going to catch it or whatever. But this is honestly, I mean, I've watched a lot of baseball. I've never seen this one before. This is new to me. Smart play, didn't quite sell it enough, says Fresh Wes. That throw from Gilbert was the ultimate rainbow toss. Yeah, it was. It was. What else we got here? Also, a slower runner at third likely has to get a better jump, so would leave earlier. Yeah, so I guess there's some optimal, situations where it might work. But yeah, too deep, I think. I'd try something like that with a runner on first if they had speed to see if the base runner would freeze. The thing is like you're gonna have to make the catch. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like you could do this, but you still got to catch it. Like what if it drops? Now you don't get the out at all. Now you look like a real, you know what. So, pretty amazing. I watched the game and didn't even realize that what he was doing. Genius move. It worked. I think it's great. And I don't know if the thumbnail's up yet, but I did try to include a little Jalen Brunson in it because Maya's on it. It's all about the Knicks. Hashtag Knicks tape. Knicks going to go and probably play the Celtics, although I guess not so fast, right? Philly's got something to say about that, or is that over yet? Either way, happy that the Knicks recovered. That was a crazy game yesterday. They were up like 50 points in the second quarter. Never seen really anything like that. All right, so are we going to go look at Rafael Devers now? Yeesh. Yeesh. All right, we just made it through the first month of the season. He's got 129 plate appearances. He's scored 8 runs. He has 2 homers. He's hitting 207, 248, 289, 537 OPS. There is no number that looks good on his percentile rankings. None. 0. Zilch. He's above league average and average exit velo barely, and hard hit barely. His bat speed is now 35th percentile. What is going on? This is what he looked like last year, which was already looked like kind of a downgrade from where we've seen him in the past. But you can see he was barreling it. He was still hitting the ball hard. He was slugging. I mean, he had 35 pumps last year, and he was walking. But right now, he is not walking. So let's go to this bigger thing here where you can see the downward trends. So xwOBA has never dipped below 90th percentile over the previous, since 2021. So actually very consistent there. Exit velo. So we're seeing a major drop off in a couple of scary metrics. Number 1, bat speed started to decline last year. Now it's 35th percentile. He was 42nd percentile in 25, still was able to make it work. But that also came with his best chase rate of his career, 66th percentile. So he wasn't chasing last year. This year he's back to chasing at his normal rate, but the bat speed's dropped off a cliff. So the walk rate's fallen. If you see over here in sprint speed, at least it looks like it's a little better, but that's a small sample still. Man, hard hit percentage dropped off a cliff. Maybe he should swing more at the first pitch, not swinging in, like at a career high at the first pitch yet, so letting some good opportunities go by. But yeah, whiff rate looks about normal. Zone contact rate has dropped. Chase rate. What else? I mean, they're attacking him more in the zone than ever, indicating a lack of fear amongst the pitchers a little bit. The Devers contract was signed in panic and is the worst in baseball. Sox fans can bitch about the return, but honestly, the fact that they got rid of it is a miracle. Not great from Buster. I have to agree with you, Maya. This is the best move of the Breslow era so far in terms of just getting rid of this contract. Mostly because, even if he hit at the same value, he's basically a DH now that you're trying to ram to play first base. I've always thought Rafi, especially in the year I played with him, 2021, it was one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter I've ever played with because of his ability to go pole to pole. But there's no sugarcoating this one. We got some bad trends going on with Rafi Devers, and I want to take a closer look here at some of his swing path metrics. So, I mean, look, he might turn it around. This could just be a bad start to the season. But, you could see some bad body stuff coming down the road with Rafi. I'm not going to say he didn't work hard. He works hard, but I don't think he's a guy who has A+ off seasons. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Definitely have some concerns. All right, let's look at Rafi Devers here over the past several years. All right, so they group by years. It goes from the highest year to the lowest year as we come down. From 2023 at the top, 2026 at the bottom here. All right, so bat speed has declined each year. Not a huge difference from this year to last, but it is a decline. Fast swing rate has greatly declined from about a third of his swings now to about 15% of his swings. Swing length has remained the same. So yeah, this is just mostly showing that he's not swinging as hard consistently and not swinging as hard as often. Also, like swing length. I mean, it's not as long as last year, but it's basically the same. So now let's go look at his other swing path stuff. It's annoying that these aren't all in one group. They should all be in one group. Let's see here. Ayo, when you play with Devers, did you ever see him work his way out of a slump? Yeah, one time, because he had a problem that year where teams were spamming four-seamers at him, and then I saw him fix that. So there was like a little bit of a moment in that season where he couldn't hit a fastball, but then he ended up figuring it out and then started raking that year. I'm not gonna like throw any shots at his work ethic. He works, but he's got a little bit of the type of body where he has to be careful or it could get away from him, and I'm a little worried maybe that's what's going on a little bit. It's a physical thing, but I don't know. Bat speed down, swing path tilt. So 2023, he was at 27, then 28, then 30. Now he's 31, so he's getting progressively more tilted with his shoulders going uphill. That's the first thing I'm seeing. Attack direction has always been kind of oppo, even in a really good couple years. 24, 23, it was basically neutral. Versus also, so here's another issue. He's catching the ball more consistently deeper, so he's not able to do as much damage on it. This could also be kind of the culprit of his bat speed. He's just not getting the ball out in front of the plate as well. That's a steady decline from 14.4 inches in front of the plate. Now it's gone steadily down to only 4.6. All right, depth in the batter's box. He's also moved back in the batter's box to try to give himself some more time. He's slightly more, about the same as last year, but a little deeper. Distance between feet. He's wider, but he's been open with this stance for a while. So yeah, I'm just assuming that he's not as quick getting to the ball anymore, and he's not catching it as much out front. And then also there's a little bit of my concern that he's tilting his shoulders into a scoop move a little bit more often. So that's kind of what I'm seeing at the moment from Rafi. He still has above average bat speed though. No, he doesn't. It's below average. Wait. Timeout. How's that below average? It says it's red here. 71.2. But here it says that's below average. Okay, so it is below average, 35th percentile. I don't know. I'm feeling like there's some physical stuff. Maybe it's one of those play yourself into shape, but also there's a little bit of a swing change, slowly developing over time into more of an uppercut. So that leaves him a little bit more vulnerable. Also, this is a tough place to hit. Okay, what else we got in here? Devers' contract extension did not include a no-trade clause, and Devers had yet to qualify for 10-5, which means he had no capacity to block the trade. I also think he wanted out at that moment. He was frustrated about something. There was a disconnect there. No doubt about that. What else we got here? Ayo, can you peek at the Tatis Jr. numbers? Yeah, I mean, crazy. No home runs, 100th percentile. We'll get to Tatis at some point. Any chance he adjusted his swing because of the stadium, which affected him? Maybe. I mean, maybe not on purpose, but like in Fenway, you can drive the ball opposite field really easily. Obviously, off that monster, it's kind of a safety net for lefties, power lefties like Rafi. He's one of the best at that. So I think that's a possibility, but I mean, probably not. I don't see Rafi adjusting much. He's never really had to. He can hit the ball when he's right out of any ballpark. Does being further back in the box actually hurt you from getting out in front of the ball? It shouldn't. It shouldn't. You should have more room to be able to hit behind the ball. I don't believe so. What else we got? Screams for a baseball during ballet breakdown of Rafi. Oh, man. How's the pull air rate? Not good. Not good. Oh, I forgot you could just go on bat tracking right here. Anyway, pull air rate. Yeah, not good. 12.2% right now. Not that he's ever needed to do that, but as his bat speed declines, he's going to need to pull more to hit more slug. So a lot of that makes sense to me, for sure. So, all right, while we're here, we might as well look at Tatis, right? I've been getting a request for Tatis. I know we haven't watched any baseball yet, but we'll take a quick look at Tatis. He's got the very odd distinction of being 100th percentile in hard hit rate, and yet he has 0 home runs on the season. So that's really limiting his stats. He's at a 609 OPS for Tatis. Obviously, we know how good he is in the field and all those things, but this is a weird profile. Hitting the snot out of the ball, chase rate's above average, walk rate's above average, K rate and whiff rate are there, but they're not like in the single digits. It's sort of similar to what I was praising Matt Olson about yesterday. So it's super weird. I mean, expected slug, 53rd percentile, just not getting it into the proper launch angle, I would say. Is that the biggest thing? Let's look at his bat tracking now that I have that. Bat speed's as good as ever. It's actually at a career high. His fast swing rate's at a career high. Swing length is fine for him. Contact rate. All right, what else we got? Swing path. Okay, so it looks like maybe the attack angle is the culprit. He's at 6 degrees attack angle this year. Looks like in previous seasons 12, 10, 8, 6. So he's gotten progressively more down through the ball at contact. So he's hitting the wrong type of the ball, wrong part of the ball, or he's not getting, up through the ball at quite the right rate. His swing tilt hasn't changed, but the attack angle has absolutely changed. Also, he's become more opposite field oriented in terms of attack direction as time has gone on. So I don't know, maybe spending a lot of time with Vladdy, but he's not as accurate or something. So it's like staying inside the ball, but down on it a little bit more than he was in the past. So you don't want to tell a guy to uppercut more, but that's kind of what the data says, like in a way. Hit up through the ball a little better, especially when for his career, he's gone progressively more in the opposite field direction. Any changes in the stance? He's a little bit further off the plate, just by an inch. But he's also wider, but then he was wider again years ago. So it's hard to place anything on that. Let's look at his zones. Is there anything that's... Well, let me go look at his... I don't want to look at it on here. Let me look at it on here. Fernando Tatis. All right, let's see him versus righties. Righty fastballs. Struggling with the top of the zone. Hammering the outside of the zone, middle away, and kind of the whole down band. So maybe there's an element of he's just not, because of that, and he's swinging down on the ball, he's just not able to meet it and get it in the air. I don't know. Is swinging down on the ball something hitters do to fake bat speed because it's a shorter pack to the ball? No, because bat speed's measured at its peak, so usually it's like just like further out in the front. Swinging down won't be able to cheat your bat speed, but they swing down because number one, getting it to swing up takes a moment to kind of drop the barrel and then get into that plane. So sometimes that's a little bit slower, but also for better contact. Like if with all the pitches that are rising, if you can be a little bit shorter to the ball or a little bit more down on the ball with your bat path, you don't get scoop under the high fastball as much. You can kind of come right onto it by just turning your shoulders. And because on an uppercut swing you have to dip, I think that's kind of the big distinction there in what you would see. But anyway, I thought that was cool to look at. What's up?
Where's Archer's bag? It's not in his bag.
It's not in his Mizuno bag?
Can't play baseball without a bat.
Is it in the back closet with the other rackets and stuff? Maybe she put it in there, or maybe it's downstairs. Okay. How much of it is just luck? It's not really luck. I mean, of course there's a portion of like, yeah, I guess there's a little bit of luck involved, but it's you set yourself up to run into the ball in the proper fashion. by the way that you approach the ball consistently with the angle that you're coming on. Does a rise go up on the ball? I don't think so. I don't think so. Hold on. Luis Arraez. Bat tracking. Yeah, I mean, no, I mean he's 8 degrees. So 10 is average. Any type of double digit numbers is when you start to see guys coming up through the ball a little bit more heavy with the uppercut in terms of through the ball. So it's crazy because like Arraez has huge shoulder tilt, but then he's only at 8-degree attack angle, so he's still kind of level through the zone, despite the fact that he has the huge, like, torso lean, and then he hits the ball from, actually behind the front of the plate. That's how deep he catches it. So he's hitting totally different. But Tatis needs to catch the ball out front to put some thump on it, and it just looks to me like he's not getting up through the ball at the same rate. So ultimately with Tatis, I think it's just hurting his ability a little bit to slug. He's just not getting as many balls in the air. I think that's the basics of it. Launch angle 3.2 degrees, 3.2. So like that's indicating a lot of ground balls, batted balls in general. He's only 18.8% fly balls. So you want to be more fly balls than that. And he's only pulling 21.1% of his balls. So he's too low line drive to the right side oriented to tap into how hard he's hitting the ball. Tatis, that's what it comes down to with him. So, just kind of doing his thing, but it's a little bit misaligned right now. I think if I were him, I'd practice pulling balls off the foul pole in BP for a little while, and then that should straighten him out, something like that. Just overcorrect the other way and then try to find the happy medium, if that makes sense. Got to put an air tag on that bat. Yeah, I know. It's like Mitch is saying it. You also have to catch the ball out front to hit up on it consistently. So that's the thing. You got to catch it out front. What's my rookie card look like? I actually have that somewhere. You want me to go grab that real quick and show you something real quick? We can do a 2-second show and tell. All right, 2-second show and tell on the show. These are the 1-of-1s that I have. This is the 1-of-1 Bowman. I haven't put it in a really good case yet, but you see that? That's pretty dope. Look at the young boy right there. And then this one is a 1-of-1 Yankees card. It's also pretty cool. Kind of similar look. A little bit of the old school look. Just looking off in the distance, trying not to laugh at myself. But yeah, those are the rookie cards. I also have a framed 10/10 graded ticket from my debut that a fan sent me. So that's pretty dope. All right, let me move down here a little bit. Thanks for the breakdown on Tatis. I have him in fantasy and confused why he wasn't hitting homers. Yeah, I mean, he's just not giving himself enough chance. It's crazy because all the physical talent's obviously still there, but he needs to pull some shit. He needs to get out and hook some shit. He's the opposite of what a lot of guys do, where all they try to do is that, and then they can't make contact. He needs to get outside and hook some stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. They both have different issues. But it's cool that we have these tools now, right, that we can go take a look. You know what I'm saying? Is there any concern for Vlad's lack of pop? I'm not as concerned with Vlad. I mean, we can look into Vlad a little bit. Vlad notoriously swings down. But, like, Vlad's just a great all-around hitter, and the home runs come from, like, the mistakes, the amount of mistakes he gets. And then also just at some point he does become a little more accurate at getting the bat out front and clipping them with that backspin. Like on Vlad's bat tracking, what do we see? Actually, he's got a slightly shorter swing than last season with basically as much bat speed. His attack angle's always been super, super low number. These are Vlad's attack angles over the past several years. Like, he's at 3 degrees. Last year, he's at 1 degree. So I don't see any reason to worry about Vlad. Plus, like, he's also getting results. Like, you see his numbers here. Like, they're really good. I mean, he's hitting 354 with a 907 OPS. I know he doesn't have a lot of homers, but I'd be patient with Vlad. I think that will come and he still looks great. Everything's coming up roses for Vlad, for me. Fun fact, you debuted the same day my little cousin was born. Yeah, May 29th, 2010. Very cool. AI-generated Yankees card. That sucks. I have Rockies cards. I have a bunch of other cards in myself. Like, I even have this random Mets card just sitting around on my table that I haven't done anything with. But look at that. That's pretty dope, right? Got an ugly face going, but, you know. Anyway. What else we got? Yeah, Vlad's hitting like 352 with a 450 on base with 2 homers. Like, he's fine. Oh, you're just trolling now, Will. You're trying to bring back yesterday's discussions today. You have the Hello Kitty Ottavino bobblehead? No, I have a Star Wars bobblehead of mine, Jedi Ottavino. But that's about it. All right, so that's it. What are we going to look at? I have about 50 minutes. We're going to look at from yesterday. Chris Bassitt? Chris Bassitt pitched well finally. Starting to creep back into it. 6 2/3, 7 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, 94 pitches against the Stros. Yeah, I think we'll start with Seabass, and then from here we can go look at a couple of the hitters for sure. Yeah, Kurtz, etc. All right, so we'll start with Bass. He's now at a 5.46, so he's working his way back down. He had a couple disasters early, but worked deep into the 7th here. 94 pitches. Let's see the intense mix that he went with. I'm sure it was diverse. 41 sinkers, 22 curves. Man, look at the curveball. 70.9 miles per hour on average. My goodness. 12 sweepers, 8 cutters, 6 four-seamers, 5 changeups. So really leaned on that sinker. Curveball was great. 6 whiffs on 11 swings on the curveball. So that's really nice. All right. Seabass versus the Astros. All right. Houston. Astros. Oop. Baltimore Orioles. Bassitt. Mr. Bassitt getting himself into the program today. First batter is going to be a strikeout on the slowest dang sweeper you'll ever see. 72.9. 72. It's like an ephus sweeper. Got the old high school curveball. Seabass has righted the ship recently. All right, that's one, and here's one on a 91 fastball of Yordan. Ooh, speaking of which, Yordan did homer, I believe, in this day. So let's watch all the at-bats, all the pitches versus the best hitter on the planet at the moment. Ooh, first pitch fastball, middle, when they're set up, paint up in. This was a scary miss right here, but he gets away with it. Yordan is under it. And now he's going to go to cutter. See if he gets it to the location. He does. Good pitch, good effect. Now to the sinker off that, away. Ooh, accidental freeze. So what kind of happened here, because I thought he had this pitch open. After this cutter miss, and the way that Yordan doesn't swing. So you see this ball comes out, it's over the plate, and then it cuts in. The way that he doesn't swing would tell me, oh, if you throw something that starts in and run it back, he won't swing. And that's what ends up happening, even though that's not the intent. So you see how that worked? And then he ends up striking him out with a four-seam right above the zone. So he gets 2 swing and misses from Yordan Alvarez on four-seamers. Very hard to do, but looks like Seabass came ready to play in this game. And then he's going to get his 3rd out in the inning with a 72-mile-an-hour ephus curve. Paredes off the end of the bat, flare out to right field, and caught by the second baseman Jackson. So that was nice.
A lot of fans out in the Pure Wager Pavilion, right under the scoreboard, which has been a big hit.
Got to be the only pitcher in the league with 2 distinct curves under 75. Yeah, gotta be, right? All right, there's that sinker working. Here's another 1 pitch out.
All 3 because of DH days for Gunnar. Altuve. Wow, Jose Altuve got a pitch way out of the zone and flipped it into right field.
Well, that is the 2nd hit. We were talking about a guy of 3.
Little cutter away base hit.
Watch him. I mean,
Sinker coming here.
Do any of those games, but I watched him. And there's a strike. There you go.
So he's tied that season high already.
Man, called strike right down the middle. What are you looking for, buddy?
Do any of those games, but I watched him. And there's a strike.
Totally put him in a pretzel there.
On Tuesday.
Oh, we're going to get a caught stealing. Rushman.
Altuve,
Oh, you're hosed, Jose. Nice play by Rushman. So he'll be up again. Going to punch him out with the curveball. I just think Bassitt's speed differential game is really good. And, you know, Seth Lugo, I watched Seth Lugo do this a bit on Sunday for the Royals. It's like, okay, so you don't have big velo anymore in your fastball. So make your breaking ball even slower so you can create some timing issues. You know what I'm saying? Seabass facial expressions always look uncomfortable and angry. He's just competing hard. There's a hit on a curveball. Man, he did a lot of work with the slow stuff. Sweeper to Vasquez. It's just tough. They run out of, you know, that looks like he barrels that, but all his weight is gone. Like he lost his backside. Like if you look at Christian from the side, like he just can't put anything into that ball because his timing's off. All right, here's an in-play out to Correa. It's going to be a sinker. This is actually really hard for Seabass right now. 93-7, beats him to the spot in. And it's a very nice play. Pete actually makes the flip. Does a good job with the flip. All right, 4th inning. 3-0 swing to Yordan. Wow. That's how locked in Yordan is, that he wants to swing 3-0 with nobody on to lead off the inning. Hits at 96. This is Pete's strong suit right here, is guarding the line. He's really good at this.
He has homered off Bassitt in his career on 3-0, and here he grounds one to a sliding Pete Alonso. What else is new?
Yeah, he does. He's got slow curve. Lugo's got all that. So he goes behind 3-0 to Alvarez on what? Cutter, 4-seam, sinker, and then throws a 3-0 sinker and he swings at it. Okay. All right, here's a hit to Paredes, 72-mile-an-hour sweeper. Man, he'll find a way to pull anything, huh? Dude, he cannot do anything but pull. It's unbelievable. Flips it into left. Bassitt was underappreciated in New York, in my opinion. Yeah, well, I think a lot of it's just because he lost the 2 big games he pitched in. You know, I think he had a great season for us, and he was awesome. But, you know, the fans are going to remember the game in Atlanta, and they're going to remember the game against the Padres, which was the decider, right? That Musgrove shoved on us. Nice play there at second. That's what they're going to remember. But I agree. He's underappreciated and underrated in general. How much of Bass's success comes from not wearing shower shoes? I don't want to know. That's gross. Come on, man. Clean it up. I'm all for being weird. I was one of the weirdest players ever, but you got to wear your shoes in the shower. That's what they're there for. You know what kind of grossness your teammates are dealing with all the time. This is a nice job of the shortstop charging this ball. Making it easy for him. So the sinker inverse righties, you know, it's very similar to J.R. Ritchie yesterday, right? You know, right on right, Bassitt always has a pitch that can work. It's that sinker middle in. There's another strikeout on it. All these righties are getting out on sinkers and sweepers. It's a pretty basic game plan. It's just versus the lefties, you see it's all about command. He has to really dominate that inside corner, which is what he does right there, even though that's probably a cutter that they just mislabeled. But you see how precise he has to be with the spot here. And that is a perfect pitch. Hitter can't get his hands extended. Perfect freaking pitch right there. Alonso got the rap of being a bad defender due to the Mets positioning of him. They had him too far off the bag. Pete's really good going to his left towards the bag. To the right was always the tricky part for him, not knowing when to go, when not to go. I think playing first is hard, guys. I really do think playing first is hard. Really hard. Shower shoes are overrated. All right, 2-0 sinker here. See again. He has got to get out of jail free card versus the righties. If you want to beat Seabass, you got to play the lefties against him because he's just going to sinker these righties and it's super effective. All right, 6th inning, still cooking. Sinker, chopper. I mean, it's like a carbon copy. You just keep seeing it over and over and over again. Paredes and Danny Jansen have never gone the way with a pitch. It's wild to just have, like, one swing, which is dead pull down the line. Ooh, 3-pitch strikeout of Yordan. We must watch every pitch. All right, so remember, he punched him the first time with a fastball. Second time, 3-0 swing on a sinker ground out. All right, first pitch, 72-mile-an-hour sweeper. Gets the call, no challenge from Yordan. Interesting little catch there by Adley. I don't know how that got called a strike, but I guess it's because look at where the umpire is. Umpire's all the way over this shoulder. So how is he going to see around the head to the corner? He's not. That's the answer. He's just guessing. So strike one, Bass. Now to the changeup.
And just 10 strikeouts and 5 starts.
Ooh, good pitch, but honestly, he kind of got away with it. He was under that. He was under that. Pretty good pass at it by Yordan, but he kind of gets away with it.
10 strikeouts and 5
And then he's gonna punch him with curveball in the dirt.
Alvarez
I mean, slow, and slower. Is that the method to Yordan too? Just slow, and slower. Nasty. Good shit. Good. Really nice stuff right there. Then another sinker here. Here's Paredes again.
Ground ball toward the middle. Blaze has to go a long
Oh my God! And then that's a hit.
80
80-mile-an-hour dinker through the infield. All right, next up, strikeout on a sinker.
6 pitch to Walker. And he gets him.
I mean, the right-on-right sinker's been devastating in this game. All right, on to the 7th. So I think he gets in a little bit of trouble here in the 7th. Another right-on-right sinker. Nice play over there. Right-on-right curveball to Yenier Diaz.
A little flare out to left.
Yeah, tell him wash. Tell him wash. Bass is a dog and was loved in Toronto. We only had him for 3 years, but the guy put up 200 innings, 170, 170, reliable for 33 starts. That is facts. All right, so he almost made it through the full 7, huh?
Bryce Matthews lays down a bunt. Bassitt's off the mound.
It just doesn't make the play, and he's so mad at himself. He wants to eat that ball. Oh, I wish we had. Do we have a better camera angle? He had it. He just didn't grab it. The hand just didn't. Oh, we don't have this angle. Sucks.
Feeling bitter and
Damn, you know he was mad. He just whiffs it, and then he's like, I'm going to get him. And then you see he does like the really angry shoot. I can't throw it. And then he's like, I want to bite the ball. Look at that face. That's an angry face. It's an angry Bass face. I get it, though. That would have got him through 7. All right, another batter. Oh, dang it. Gets hit for another hit here.
Harris, short swing, flips one over
Base
into right
hit.
field.
And then he gives up a run here on the sinker. This time the ground ball gets through.
Into center field, and Houston gets on the board.
So 3 hits to end his day after that, one of them being the bunt hit. Unbelievable. I can see that being a very frustrating, like, you posted a great start. At the end of the day, 6 2/3, 1 run scored while you're out there. Maybe another one gets cashed here. But I can see that being like a good day where it ends on a sour note and you still go and break shit in the clubhouse. Poor construction by the Astros. I don't know if they have any choice. I think they are a little bit too right-handed, but you're just asking for it against Bass when he throws 75 pitches in a game versus righties and only 19 versus lefties. So, crazy. The scissoring of the legs with Yordan is interesting, too. A lot of righties doing it, but not as many lefties because it takes them away from first base slightly. Wild. So this is such a great comment, very apropos. Let me share a little bit about this. So today, shit, hold on. All right, so I was late today. Because I went to coffee with Garrett Cole, and supposed to be Max Fried, but he overslept. But anyway, we were talking about a lot of different things, and like we were talking about righties pitching to lefties versus lefties pitching to righties, and this kind of makes sense with what you're talking about with the scissoring of the legs. Like righties don't naturally think about like they can kind of do the scissor move because that keeps their momentum towards running towards first. I really think the running towards first part is really why lefty and righty swings are so different. Like lefties know that they have to swing and open up and then run to first. Even if that's subconscious, I think that factors in and why they're so good at cleaning out down and in pitches. Whereas righties, lefties can pitch them down and in often because they don't have that same thing going on. They're often like trying to keep their torso this way and their energy this way so they can hit And even if they rotate, like they don't like fly completely open with the foot and then they can go on to first. I mean, this is a generality, but we were talking about that a little bit. And I think that kind of ties into what you're talking about with Yordan doing the scissoring, but being left-handed and why that's a little rare. But it seems like a very efficient move to create power at the plate. So, yeah, very good comment with that. I think that's great. Was Pete a third baseman coming up? No, he's been a first baseman going back to high school. Astros do look terrible. Yeah, I just think that was a really bad lineup that they put up there against him. You know, a team that he's going to be able to basically dominate with that type of construction on a given day. Doubt many starters embraced the pen in the playoffs in the way he did and started throwing 95 and 2 stints. He was electric in the playoffs last year out of the pen. I thought that was awesome to see, and he's just such a gamer. He's just such a gamer. You know what I'm saying? Such a gamer. Okay, one more here. Seth McClung, Greg Zahn, pitch speed conspiracy theory. Seen a lot of people out there talking about how the radar guns are juiced now, and how they used to, like, they're saying that back in the day they used to measure the speed at the plate. I can tell you without a shadow of doubt that that's just incorrect. I used to do the radar gun in the minor leagues back in the dark ages, right? When these guys were playing in the big leagues. Seth McClung, Greg Zahn. I was a minor league guy. So I was doing the radar gun in the stands. And let me tell you what, the radar gun would pick up the second the ball released out of the hand. And how do I know this? Because I was doing it. And also because it doesn't make sense. You're not standing there with the radar gun and then waiting for the ball to cross the plate at some arbitrary time and then tapping the button and being like, what's the speed then? There were guns that would give you two readings. They would give the out of the hand reading and then they would give you a delayed reading, which usually came sort of around the time the ball roughly crossed the plate. And I remember this was one of the first times that I noticed the difference between a four-seam guy and a sinker ball guy, because I could watch a guy throw and they would both come out at, say, 94, but some guys who were throwing with really good carry and four-seam guys, it would appear to slow down less on the way to the plate than a guy who had a ton of drag on the pitch, like a guy throwing like a sinker with some weird shape or a gyro or whatever. They would have more drag on those pitches because they're not spinning as efficiently, and they would slow down a little bit on the way. So yeah, see, Stalker radar guns have had both hand and plate readings for decades now. So that's my point. Like, I use this gun. This is the same gun that they're talking about. And trust me, they were reading it out of the hand. So this whole conspiracy theory that they're trying to, like, they're trying to go through to, like, make it sound like everybody was throwing harder back then, is just wrong. It's just incorrect. I mean, there were pitchers that threw hard back in the day. It's just the average velocity has jumped, and there's no denying that. They're still measuring it at the same pickup point. So it just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. And this whole effort to, like, prove that your generation is, like, still awesome or whatever, it's just such a tired argument. Players are always going to evolve. Like, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, you don't get it, my sweeper was better than these guys. Like, no, like, people learn from each other. It's absurd. That's what's going on. So anyway, I had to rant about that for a minute. It's just so dumb. Pitching Ninja has a good video about it. All radars look at cops, pick up the fastest reading possible. Even if they weren't right out of hand, it was probably 10 to 20 from hand. Yes, they have no other way of doing it. Of course they're going to pick up something as soon as possible. That's how they're programmed. It's just like, people, they just don't think. They just don't think, man. There is no way they're gonna get them at the plate. Like, just get out of town. Just go away. All right, speaking of Yordan Alvarez, who got kind of thoroughly dominated in this one, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. He's still insane. He played really good in the other game, right? Houston, Baltimore. No, I keep clicking Boston, Baltimore. This one. 3 for 4 with a walk. 3 for 4 with a walk. This guy's unreal. Let's watch him scissor some balls. Oop, infield hit. Thanks, shift. Next at bat, here's the homer. First pitch fastball. So Young's not going to get away with what Bassitt did. In fact, he even threw a better first pitch fastball than what Bassitt threw. But this time, Yordan did not miscalculate. That's 93 mile an hour in and 107.5 going out at 27 on an up and in four seam. And he just gave a little look into the dugout. He must have said something pre at bat to Correa or something.
Would score between 5 and 6 runs a game.
Just how are you this good? First pitch fastball up and in. Get out of town. See, look, he takes a look into the dugout and gives a little smirk. You see? And then he said, oh, he knew he was, yeah. He's laughing because he said something. I love that stuff, the inside jokes.
Vlad Jr. up and
You can't have a better swing than that. You can't. You just can't. You can't have a better swing than that. It's impossible. He's the best hitter right now. He's the best hitter right now. I totally agree. Baseball's so nuanced that emotional anecdotes, someone's era of baseball being better, get held onto with no backing, with real evidence, just vibes. It happens in every other sport too. I mean, the NBA guys are the worst. Oh, my era this, my era that. Yeah, maybe it was more entertaining, but they solved the game with math now. The worst teams in the NBA now are shooting like 53s. They'll cook your old team, old man. It's crazy. Yordan if Shohei was cool. All right, so there's a homer. He walked. Later, he gets a hit left on left. So just for fun, we'll watch that. Let's see if he pummels this ball or not. Still has got that play coverage despite the scissor move. Catches it off the end, but gets a knock. So on base 4 times in this game. You can't hold him down for long. I know Bassitt kind of dominated him, but that's it. This has been a little bit of a concern. Abreu's fastball. 90 right here.
switch hitter, could place
92. What do we got going on here lately with Brian Abreu? I haven't watched much, but this is super concerning considering how dominant Brian Abreu has been at times in his career, throwing upper 90s. Even if he's 93, I'm very concerned. Did he get it up? Did he get it going? 93.7, 94.7. Okay, so he got it going, but up to 95 there, 97. Okay, so he does creep it up. Has he been good or has he been bad? There's a walk. Hold on. This is a 96 mile an hour fastball.
And that's called a strike.
He's been bad. Really bad. This is part 2 of why they're struggling so bad. Holy cow, he's been absolutely terrible. But I noticed for a moment yesterday that he came out throwing that slow, and I was like, what is happening? So he's averaging 95 on his heater. What did he average last year? 97. Yeah, so he's either hurt because it's weird to start your outing at 90 miles an hour and then work your way into it. Like it's one of those weird injuries where you kind of have to like, you can throw hard, but you have to stay warm, if that makes sense. So at the beginning when you're not fully warm yet you don't like get it popping yet, but geez Louise, I'm not seeing anything good here. First percentile walk rate, 28.3% walks. You can't even play baseball at that level with that rate. I don't care how good your stuff is. And on top of that, we're seeing a drop off in velo. Arm angle change, 42 degrees this year, 41, not really. Not much. So a little worried about him as well. We're doing a lot of I'm worried about guys, but I'm worried about Brian Abreu. Is he though? Yeah, I mean, 89th percentile, 30% strikeout, but that's not going to save you from first percentile hard hit, first percentile walk combo. Crazy. I don't think he's doing that. I think he looks bad. So I'm worried. I know he's got some whiff rate, but I don't think that's good. Hader injury sparked the Astros' downfall. This could be true. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think they could. They if they fall off, they need to trade Yordan, in my opinion, to restock and get another window here. Other than that, they're gonna have to throw money at the problem. I don't know if Jim Crane's gonna want to do that. He doesn't usually throw money at problems, really. I mean, a little bit, but not to the extent that like some other owners would, right? All right. Oop, didn't mean to do that. All right. What about Nick Kurtz? I know Nick Kurtz is another guy we wanted to look at. He's continuing to heat up. Ooh, they switched the lineup around a little bit yesterday. Wilson at the top. I talked about how I like Kurtz at the top, but they moved Kurtz to the 3-hole. So they go Wilson, Langeliers, Kurtz in yesterday's game. Kurtz goes 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He's up to 858 OPS now. Royals, A's. The big hit was this double off Noah Cameron. First pitch cutter, ball 1. Second pitch slider, in play runs. Oh, and he just hits it so hard too that it burns the center fielder and goes all the way to the wall. 116 off the bat. He's a freak. He's a freak. He's the next Yordan. Nick Kurtz.
Makes it his 15th multi-hit game. 1-0 pitch, line drive into
My goodness, he hit that ball hard. Nick Kurtz churning that butter, baby. Where should Yordan land? I mean, I'm not necessarily like I don't really care, but I think a great fit would be Toronto. Imagine putting him behind Vladdy, Yordan. I know that would hurt maybe some other players, like maybe Springer in the DH spot, but man, I would love to see him in that lineup behind Vladdy. Yordan traded to the Blue Jays coming. Both teams have a long history of trades. The big Amish. He's starting to come with it, the big Amish. So home run there. Langeliers goes 3 for 4. This guy is amazing. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Kurtz has the walk streak. Ooh, bad play there by Garcia. So that's the first one. Second at bat, he's going to get a curveball here. Springer gone after this year, and Yordan has 3 more left on the contract. A lot of teams are going to be in on Yordan because he's that good at hitting. Like he's that good at hitting. He's a game changer in your lineup. He gets out this time. Here's another hit on a sweeper for Zangief. Ooh, up and away sweeper. Pounds it into the gap. This is a deadly duo. Kurtz, Langeliers. Obviously, Soderstrom's a nice player as well. If Wilson can get back up to where he needs to be, then they have the beginnings of something. But the Kurtz Langeliers duo is sick. 858 OPS for Kurtz, and we looked at Shea yesterday a little bit. He's at 974, so really nice duo for these guys. And I don't know, interesting lineup change here. I mean, we've been using Kurtz a lot because his on-base is so high. They've been using him a lot at leadoff. But in this game, for whatever reason, they swapped it around. Got Jacob Wilson up there. He's 2 for 5. He's got a weird profile because he's hitting 289, which is a very respectable batting average, but 689 OPS due to low on base, 1 single percentile walk rate. So that's weird. Just swings too much. Swings too much because he's too good at putting things into contact. So people throw him borderline pitches and he swings. I'm getting it wild and say Yordan to the Cubs. Well, one issue with that, not real issue, but this guy has been really good out of the DH spot for the Cubs. Ballesteros. This guy demands a little bit more attention. Through 79 plate appearances, 338, 392, 620, 1,000 OPS. Everything looking groovy for him. A little bit too much chase, but other than that, looking like a real monster at the plate. Let's watch Mr. Ballesteros' 5 pumps this year. Here's the first one off Kodai Senga. Jacob Wilson is a worse defending, worse hitting Ernie Clement. I don't know if he's a worse hitter or not. I think that remains to be seen. He's a pretty good hitter. We got to give him a little more sample size, but defensively, I think Ernie might be better. You could be right about that. Here's a bomb to center off Bubba Chandler. 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Turns that one around for the thick boy Ballesteros. The Amish don't use electricity. He's got electricity in his bat, though. Ooh, Roki Sasaki, splitter, homer. That was nice. Got two more. This is the grand salami off of Randy Vasquez. You know, he's got a Rafael Palmeiro load, Ballesteros, for me. Cubs made Schwarber 2.0 with Moises. They might have. They might have. Do you guys see it in the swing? Do you guys see the Rafael Palmeiro load in the swing and the rhythm in the swing? Do you see the leg kick? Very Rafael Palmeiro-esque. Wham. All right, one more. This one's down the line. So that's the one issue with bringing in Yordan, because they already have a DH they probably like, but unclear if Ballesteros will keep this up. But he's been damn good. He's been damn good. Definitely Kirk. Kirk possibly got screwed last year in the voting. I guess Dingler won. It was pretty close last year for Gold Gloves last year. You almost see a Cargo leg kick in that. Yeah, there's a little bit of Cargo in it. I'll give you that for sure. For sure. Still thinking about Ballesteros hitting that homer directly to Anthony Rizzo, and yeah, Palmeiro load for sure. Yeah, that's what I see. I see a Rafael Palmeiro load. All right, what else we got from yesterday? I think Shane Drohan. I mean, I know this was another guy traded from the from the Red Sox to the Brew Crew. And he had maybe the best game of his life yesterday, where he went 4 innings of relief yesterday, 1 run, 4 strikeouts. Brandon Woodruff had some horrible velocity in this game. So he's going to go on the IL, it looks like. Shoulder issue again. He's been very, very hurt, which was another interesting move by Milwaukee, in my opinion. They decided to qualify offer Woodruff. He accepted it. Now they're on the hook for $22 million this year, and then they traded Peralta, who's never really been hurt, to the Mets. So I thought that was a little interesting. For me, I felt like, I remember at the time thinking they better feel pretty good about Brandon Woodruff. So anyway, here's Brandon Woodruff's fastball yesterday, and this is the scary thing. Pitch velocity. He averaged 85.4 on his fastball yesterday. 6.7 miles an hour down. I have more velo than Woodruff had yesterday. Yes, that's facts. But this is very scary. He must have been really, really hurt in this game. So let's pop over to this game. This is Brewers and Diamondbacks. Just want to watch him throw a few of these pitches and then just get an idea of what I'm looking at. This is an 84-mile-an-hour heater.
Another homestand coming up with some tough opponents.
Man, it's crazy that they let him take the mound, or that they let him go out for the second inning.
He's got a great changeup. It's one of his best pitches, and he dropped until Connor Griffin ended up hitting a home run against him. And he lost
Fastball. I mean, it's hard to watch.
Here's Ketel Marte, homered last night.
So I guess it's shoulder related again. So that's not a good sign. Man, poor guy. Sucks for the Brewers too, because they're counting on him to be the ace. So anyway, I was mentioning Shane Drohan. This guy got traded over here from the Red Sox, lefty pitcher. Pitched yesterday for the Brewers. We could take a quick look at him. This is what he's looked like on the season so far. 4 games, 1 game started. He is 6'2", 202, 27 years old out of Florida State. 38-degree arm angle, averages 94 with the heater. It's a 6-pitch mix. Mainly 4-seam cutter, slider, curve. Let's see here. Not getting a huge strikeout rate. Walks are okay. Big ground ball guy, looks like. Getting a lot of chase. What did he get in this game yesterday? Got 48% chase in this game, so that's pretty absurd. All right, let me watch Drohan a little bit just to get an idea.
An inning with Grant Anderson, and he gets back-to-back strikeouts, and now you've got a pitcher.
Murph says it was just dead arm. I'm gonna go ahead and call BS on that. If Brandon Woodruff makes his next start, I'll be stunned. You don't throw 7 miles an hour down and it's dead arm. Like you got, yeah, your arm's dead. You got inflammation or something like that. Dead arm is more of like an end of spring training phenomenon. There's a fly out, nice play. Here's a slider. So I call BS on that, but you know, usually they tend to downplay things at the beginning and then they eventually. I just assume he's going to the IL eventually. Eventually, more news will come out, in my opinion. So we'll see. Woodruff paid for loyalty over years, I guess. I just thought it was an interesting decision. I mean, granted, he did pitch very well last year when he came back. So this was a slider hammered by Corbin Carroll. Here's a strikeout of Del Castillo. Check out Drohan. First of all, he's a bigger guy than I thought. Seeing a little bit of Mike Minor in the delivery. Nice pitch. There's a cutter.
There's a ground ball through for a base. Going back to last year.
Runs here to Gurriel. It's a blooper. Good pitch. No dice though. Gonna get Nolan out here. That cutter's pretty good. It's got a good amount of lift on it. Throws it fairly hard. Called strike, 96. So the Red Sox were able to get both Harrison and Drohan. So they got 2 lefty pitchers in that trade for Durbin. This is the other one besides Kyle Harrison. I know there's been some desire for me to watch Kyle Harrison. Velo drop points to his shoulder, especially if he has shoulder history, and he does. Major shoulder injury history for Woodruff. So that's what scares me. He has to be hurt. Brewers haven't exactly paid anyone for loyalty. They don't pay anyone anyway. I just thought the qualifying offer one was a very interesting call. I wonder if teams are still trying to wrap their heads around what to do with the qualifying offer. There's been some interesting decisions the last year or two. Woodruff was one. Giolito was one. Trent Grisham was another one for different reasons. Imanaga was an interesting one. There's been a lot of interesting ones lately.
He's retired 5 in a row. Pitching in his 4th inning now. And that's a fair ball.
Mike Minor missed him on the Braves back when he was young. Really good changeup.
To both lefties and righties. Bouncing ball.
Yeah, you would think this guy would have a pretty good sinker from his slot, and he does. 6 and 7, 6 and -17 is pretty good.
Slow roller out to.
There's a strikeout on a changeup. This is the kick change. Everybody who was with the Red Sox last year throws a kick change, so I'm assuming he learned it over there, but that's a pretty nice pitch. Look at that drop. That's pretty good. You think the QO sticks around after the CBA? I don't know, man. I don't have a great feel for it. Maybe. People have been complaining about it forever, but it's never been like a huge priority because it only affects a few guys. So a lot of players don't care. They're never going to see a qualifying offer. But, I mean, you know, every year you do see the difficulty with it. You know, it really drags guys down, you know, sometimes in that first go through if they're attached to a qualifying offer and they're in the right band of player. Like they're a really good player, but they're not like Juan Soto or whatever, where they're just going to ignore it. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, what else we got from yesterday? I got about 20 more minutes. I didn't really have much planned. What did I have written down? Oh, yeah. You guys want to watch the robbed home run by James Wood yesterday? I mean, it's hard to watch this Mets stuff. But, oh, yeah, what happened in the Skenes game, maybe? That's a pretty good idea. Let's see here. Did CJ do more than just the home run off Weave? Is he worth watching for more than one at-bat? Yeah, he did go 2 for 3. Wood went over, but did rob the home run. All right, we'll hop over here for a second. Nats, Mets. Who hit the ball that he robbed the homer on? Who hit that one? Was it Benj? No. Semyon? Beatty? No. Mauricio? No. Soto? Is this it? Is this the robbed home run right here?
Soto gets one in the air to deep right field. Wood eases back near the wall and jumps and makes the catch.
Damn, that was a nice play. It definitely helps that he's tall. But wow, way over the fence. That's a home run for sure. So he takes one away from Soto. Nice play. 108 at 39. Interesting route. Like he goes kind of like left, then turns his body completely. Had plenty of time to scout the wall out and then just make a pure jump. Man, and that one run ended up being huge. That's a heck of a play. Damn, immediate little chuckle on his face. He gets no credit for being a good defender, but that's a nice play right there by James Wood. Yeah, I mean, he's got -2 outs above average right now, which is kind of funny. I wonder if that even comes up as like a 5-star play or whatever. Is it one of these?
Yeah,
Is this him robbing Bo with a diving catch?
Grip as he goes into his glove.
Oh, that was a pretty nice play. I've never really seen him make any nice plays, so I don't have like a great feel for him on defense.
Yeah, it looks like
I
Parker
saw
kind
this one. This is another one. Just curious out of a second.
Tried to pitch him in, and then he tried to start pulling things. What a jump. And now he's gonna rob it.
Yeah, I'm about to watch the CJ stuff in a minute. All right, so that's enough for James Wood. As for CJ Abrams, he had the big swing in this game off Weaver. He's playing really, really, really well to start the year. He's got an ability to cover fastballs up. That's a little bit unique, but I think it's on a changeup that he gets off of Weave here, so we'll go ahead and watch it. He's currently hitting 296, 405, 556 with a 961 slug at the moment. So anyway, 2 for 3. 2 for 3 in this game. We'll get to the Weaver home run in a minute. I just want to watch his single, see what he gets a hit on here early off of Peralta.
1-2 coming. And he breaks his back,
Wow, just a little bleeder to left for an RBI. That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous off the end of the bat. All right, here's the home run. Here's the whole at-bat for Weave. So pickoff attempt here. Let's see.
Abrams takes a fastball up and away.
Four-seam up and away take.
Middle infielder's pinched toward the middle against Abrams.
Four-seam up and away. No swing. So at this point, he looks like he was looking for a fastball, but did a great job trying to get him into a certain area and didn't force the swing because both of those are pretty close. Like that pitch is right there. This pitch is right there. I mean, they're both balls, but they're close. But he gets them into a 2-0 count. Obviously, that's important. Then he's going to come with another fastball here. It's a called strike. Another take, but another trigger. I say he would have been late on this, so maybe it's kind of hard to tell. And then he gets him on the changeup. Damn. I mean, look, it's middle. If it's down, he can't do that to it. So regardless whether he's sitting on it or not, it's a lack of execution to the pitch, which he ended up kind of having to do because he was in a 2-1 count. But this ball came off of the same line as the previous fastball. Right there versus right here. Yeah, they're about the same. They both feel like they're headed for the top of the zone. He was able to lay off that first one, and then the second one he's able to stay back on it and destroy it. It's just not down enough. And because he didn't swing at any of the first 3 pitches, we didn't get a great read on his timing. So I think ultimately Weaver kind of walked into it, and then the mistake is the location. Yeah, because he's on time there. He's not like, it's not like he's early and then still finds a way to ride it out. He's like pretty on time for the changeup. So I think he would have been late to the fastball, but we didn't get a good read on it because of the 2 pitches he laid off at the beginning. So he won that at bat by spitting on the first 2 pitches, in my opinion, right there. So obviously it's tough noogies for the Mets, of course, but he's been really good this year. This is trending towards his best year ever. As he's trying to become a superstar. Yeah, I mean, by far, this is the best hitting he's ever done at the plate. Barreling way more balls, hitting more balls hard. The walk rate's way up. It's funny because the chase rate's around the same, and he's actually swinging and missing more, but he's doing more damage with what he's getting. So interesting to see that out of CJ. So anyway, sorry guys. I did watch this. I turned it off about halfway through because I was just like, man, he's going on and on. I'm not really sure whether he's confident, not confident, or whether he just wanted to talk. Felt like a therapy session a little bit after the game, for sure. Home run robberies generally don't rank highly because they don't take the wall into consideration. Yeah, for those 5-star plays, that makes sense. For outs above average. CJ had an interview about how he wants to get to the low VAA up fastballs. Well, he does it. He crushes them. I mean, he's hitting home runs above the zone quite a bit on the season so far. He's always had an ability to do it, but he has to hunt it. And, there's no doubt that he can do it. I mean, see the red spot up and away on fastballs? Like, he's hit those. Man, look at that band on fastballs coming right through the zone. Up and away, right down the middle, and down and in, he covers. You can get him up, in, or down and away. It's so funny. It's so funny to see that. Wow. So, all right. No, I like Weaver too. I'm not dissing him either. I was just saying that he was definitely talking a lot. It just felt painful. So there was a lot of painful. Archer wants you to bring him an ice pop to baseball. So if you want to put some ice pops in a cooler or freezer bag, that would be great. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Just got to make sure I keep my texts open so I don't miss that, because Archer's got baseball practice coming up that I'm going to run to after my MLB Now spot at 12:40. Our catcher ABS challenges worked into OAA yet or D-War yet? I don't know. No idea. Should we do a quick update on the leaderboard? Because we're kind of like just going through the motions today a little bit, it seems like, with what to look at. Let's look at the ABS leaderboard. Let's just see for a second. Wow. Xander Bogaerts, #1 right now in net overturns versus expected average. Riley Green second. Interesting to see that. Let's look at it by team, though. I'd much rather look by team. This is by batting team first. So the Royals have been good. The A's, the Mets, the Cardinals have all been good by teams. Looks like total challenges 1. Twins still have won the most with 21, but they've lost 27. That's crazy. They've made the most challenges in general at the plate, 48. Who's at the low end? Diamondbacks only 19. Red Sox only 20. That's crazy. That's wild. So anyway, yeah, that's the net. And then what about fielding team? Who's been the best on the mound? And catcher combo, Detroit, Seattle, Colorado, Angels, Reds, Cubs, Cardinals, Marlins. Worst, White Sox. Wow, White Sox are -11 from the field. So their catchers have really struggled with this. And then everybody else is pretty close to neutral. Let's look at individual players again, just catchers. Who's been the best catchers in the game on the challenges so far? Hunter Goodman, Salvi, Dylan Dingler, Ramirez, Garver, Herrero, Hoppy, Stevenson, Kelly, and Wells are the top 10. And if you look at net runs, Kelly and Salvador are very, very highly thought of in net runs. Crazy. Most aggressive catchers, Cuero, 38, and yet he's lost 22 of them. So they're telling him to be aggressive. They might want to pull back on that if you're the White Sox a little bit. That's crazy. What about pitchers? Are there any good pitcher challengers? So Max Fried's challenged 2 and won both of them. And Freddie's challenged 2 and won both of them, but that's it. Those are the most wins as a pitcher. That's it. That's wild to look at. Wow. All right. Riley Green taking a big step forward with his discipline. Jay's rookie catcher had 3 successful ABS calls the other day. Would have been expected rookies to be gun shy. But, you know, I mean, they also do it in AAA, so they're kind of used to it, right? Like, they've kind of gotten better probably at doing it over the years. Yeah, Mitch is on that. Mitch is on that. All right, what else from yesterday? Anything else? Oh, yeah, the Skenes game. All right, well, so we'll watch the Skenes game at the end here. Obviously, the Cardinals get to him. That'll loop a little Jordan Walker in as well. Okay, Paul Skenes, 5 innings, 8 hits. This might be a career high. 4 earned runs, 0 walks, 9 strikeouts, 2 home runs. What did he throw in this baseball game? Paul Skenes. 28 changeups, 27 four-seamers, 19 splitters. So that's kind of what he's been doing. 15 sweepers, 13 sinkers, no curves. We did enough to get a lot of strikeouts, obviously. Got enough whiff, almost 30% whiff, 35% chase. Looks like he gave up some hard contact on the four-seamers. So let's see if that's more of a command issue in this game. So Pirates, Cardinals. Paulie Skenes. Where are you? Paul Skenes. All right, so first batter right off the rip, J.J. Weatherholt, home run. So let's watch this whole at-bat versus J.J. First pitch, four-seam up and away, goes for the trigger, doesn't swing. Second pitch, split coming. No way, so he's 2-0, and now he's going to get clipped on a fastball. Let's see if he pulls it down in. Oh, just up and away, but Weatherholt has the ability to... One thing we noted when we watched him in the video I made for him is he's got outstanding plate coverage. This pitch is up and away from him, and he is all over that and perfectly on time for it. So, takes Skenes over the Clemente wall. 107.7 at 28. Also a very encouraging amount of exit velo there for JJ. All right, next batter up. It's going to be a hit by Ivan Herrera. So a lot of this looks like it's...
That's a fair ball. Long throw and
a lot of stuff in the first inning. Poor defense there. Here's a strikeout of Burleson on a backdoor sweeper. Really nice pitch there. And then he gets clipped here by Jordan Walker. So let's watch this at bat. Sweeper. Triggers but doesn't go. Sweeper again.
1-0 Jordan Walker.
Taps it, but it's in there, so that's 1-1. So sweeper, sweeper. Here comes a sinker.
They lose one of their 2 challenges.
Non-competitive, so he ignores that, and then he's going to get clipped on the sweeper here. So 3 out of 4 pitches are a sweeper. This one was the front door, which he already got a chance to take a look at. But great job by Jordan Walker to hammer that to left. Good swing. So I think it's just a little bit of bad fundamental. Both home runs came 2-0 and 2-1. On pitches that they had already gotten to read a little bit. So 107 at 40 from Jordan Walker here. And, you know, the big thing that we've been talking about with him early is his ability to be on time for fastballs, but also be able to ride out off speed a little bit better from the upright position he's in. Less, you know, less open with the stance as well. All right, so that's 3 runs right off the rip after that. All right, here's a strikeout on a changeup. Nice pitch there, and then also a strikeout here. So he strikes out the side in the first, but gives up 3 runs on 2 homers. So pretty much for Skenes, it's just been a couple tough first innings. The one on opening day, and then this one. Changeup coming here.
Changeup, good one.
Jake Bennett makes his MLB tonight. Second coming of Cliff Lee. Cliff Lee was amazing. Put some respect on that name. He was one of the best pitchers in the world for a stretch there. Base hit to right. He's fallen a little too in love with the changeup, in my opinion. It does seem like he's gone into this mode of basically like the 4 fastballs, if you include the changeup. So the 4 non-breaking balls, right? 4-seam, sinker, splinker, changeup. Seems like he's really gone to that with heavy mix. and I feel like that allows him to read bat paths and timing very well. But I do think that he could benefit by throwing some more spin. I know he just got clipped on a sweeper, but I think that might also be part of the issue too. He hasn't been as sharp with his spin early in the season. There's a pop out on a sweeper. That's it for the second inning. Third inning coming here. Skenes 0-5 in 7 starts against the Cardinals. That's impressive.
Switching things up. There we go.
98.
All right, Herrera, see you later. This time, another hit by Burleson. This time it's on the splitter.
The other way. Oh, diving
Ooh,
stop.
should be
Connor
out.
Griffin to his feet. Oh,
But they don't
Horwitz
make the
can't
play.
come up with a pick.
Here's an in-play out to Jordan Walker. This time it's the fastball in. Ooh, he was actually early and hit that off the end. Very odd to be early on that. And then in-play runs here to Nolan Gorman. So let's watch this whole at-bat because this is another crucial at-bat where a run comes across. Changeup, away, ball.
Multiple homers in 1 inning.
Changeup, away, ball. So once again, what's the commonality? 2-0 or 2-1? It's going to be 2-1 when this pitch is hit. So changeup, 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 basically. And then four-seam. Man, he was early on that. So they did him a favor by throwing him the four-seam. He stayed on fastball timing, and then he didn't get the pitch up enough to increase the difficulty of that. Really nice slide there by Burleson to get in there. So yeah, you see what happened there. I mean, the changeup, he's super far out early. They want this pitch up high. He ends up kind of throwing it down the middle. So for me, it's just a couple mistakes while behind in the count that he doesn't typically make.
Reynolds throw it to the plate.
You know?
It's going to get there in about 4 hops.
What do you think's going on with Skenes? Is it the ball, release point, how tightly he's holding the ball? I don't think anything's going on with him. I mean, ultimately in this game, he had 9 strikeouts and no walks. So I just think in those individual at-bats, he got himself in a little bit of trouble with poor execution and poor, also like in all of those at-bats, he gave the hitter exactly what they were looking for, timing-wise, which is very odd for him because he seems to be able to read that really well, but didn't do as good a job in a couple spots here. Other than that, it looks like he kind of rolls. So I don't think anything's wrong with him. I mean, listen, he's settled it. It's interesting that he's already settled into this 95, 96, 97 mode. And he doesn't just live at 100 anymore. I wonder if that's more of a conscious choice or just like he's just not feeling like he can throw as hard anymore. But that went away pretty quick, and that's a lesson to everybody who thinks that a guy who comes up that pumps 100 all the time is going to do that for the duration, you know, of many years. Like, it's likely not going to happen. This is a called strike 3 on a right-on-right changeup, bottom of the zone. So you're out. Here's an in-play runs here. So let's watch this whole at-bat to Burleson. Remember before, he hit him with a fastball. So sinker in.
With Brian Honora.
Four seam up, but this time it's up, and that beats him. He's definitely still on the fastball, the fact that he fired at that. Now here's the changeup. Early on that, so that's twice he's gotten a whiff on changeups. So let's see if he stays there, or curveball, which he didn't throw any of yesterday, would have been a good choice here below the zone.
Wild pitch.
Changeup there, but non-competitive. Now to a sinker. Underneath that, and then to a changeup. I think he sped up his bat twice. I mean, that's very unlucky because that pitch is a day and a half outside. So more than anything, it's a good job by Burleson. But sped his bat up twice, and then this pitch is just not down. So like you can say, oh, like that's ridiculous. He hit a pitch a foot off the plate, which is true. But it's also if it's down, he can't do what he just did. What a crazy hit. What a little doink into left. So I'm not seeing too much with Skenes, just not as sharp as he needed to be. Maybe through stretches, but I think he's fine. Maybe something that will keep Skenes healthier long term. Yeah, like I don't have a problem with it, but it happened quick, right? Like he doesn't just sit 100 anymore, you know, which I think people think happens forever, but it's only in rare cases. Cliff Lee, CC Sabathia in the rotation was a nightmare. Yeah, and those guys are homies too, and I love those guys. 2 lefties just dominating. All right, so that's it. He makes it through 5. He threw a ton of pitches to get through 5. You saw what happened. Couple bad counts, couple poor fundamentals. That's going to happen. He's a human. I do think that that something's up with Skenes' breaking ball. He's thrown some good ones here and there, but it just hasn't been as big a part of the mix this year, right? 16% only on sweeper, and he's only 2% on curve. Last year, I guess he threw a few more gyros in there. So he was 11% between curve and gyro slider, and then another 16 on sweeper. So he's definitely down about 8 or 9% usage. And then going back to a couple years ago, curve, sweeper, slider. So he's down a little bit. He's really ramped up the changeup usage. I feel like the changeup has become his favorite pitch other than his fastball. Yeah, you see how the changeup moved all the way up the pecking order to the number 2 pitch. And like, look at the Savant page. The Savant page is great. You know, like he's not doing anything wrong. But yeah, I just wonder if he could loop a little bit more breaking ball into his game. And I don't know. Overall, I think this was a blip. This was nothing. This is nothing to even really think about. So anyway, all good. Cardinals beat them. They've been good. They've been great. Yeah, day and a half outside. Something Stephen Kwan would know how to do. Jordan tagging the sweeper is interesting. He whiffed on those a lot. I mean, it was middle, and he saw one front door already in the at-bat. So he knew what lane to swing to look for. So, I don't know. I agree. Like, it seems like he should be switching back to a little more spin and maybe a little more velo. But again, I mean, it's hard to argue with these expected numbers. So we'll just let it play out. He's got every reason to think that he's doing everything right with an expected ERA of 2.25. And he's got a 0.85 whip. So he's right in a lot of ways. So I guess it's just a small sample. But I mean, I have noticed that the breaking ball doesn't seem to be as much of a put away pitch anymore. And maybe that's a little bit of something to think about. But that's it. And that's going to be it for the show today, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and get right into probables. A little bit of a short show today. I have to hop on MLB Now in 8 minutes. And then after that, I got to go get my kid's baseball bat and some ice pops over to his practice. So we'll be back tomorrow night for Baseball After Dark. If you're interested in hanging with me tomorrow night, there should be some good stuff to hang out and check out. And then Sunday we'll be off. And then we'll be back again on Monday. Oh, Jake Bennett. Expect the Jake Bennett video tonight, Red Sox fans. I will cover his debut tonight. I will find a way to make that video when I get an opportunity. He's pitching a night game, right? Anyway, whatever. Let's get into probables, and then I'll find that out right now. So here we go. Probables for today. Thanks again for hanging. Diamondbacks at Cubs. Nothing like a Friday day game at Wrigley. Zach Gallen, Colin Ray. Rangers at Tigers. Mackenzie Gore, Jack Flaherty. Reds at Pirates. Brady Singer, Mitch Keller. This is a fun NL Central matchup this weekend. Reds, Pirates, Singer, Keller. Brewers, Nationals. It's the Miz, Jacob Mizorowski, and Jake Irvin in Washington. Orioles, Yankees. I will actually be at this game for a bit tonight, doing some things. Orioles at Yankees. Will Warren on the mound versus TBA. Astros at Sox. It's going to be Jake Bennett. That's a 7-10 game at Fenway. So I'll after his outing tonight, I'll throw a video up on the channel as soon as I'm home. Mike Burrows for the Stros. Giants, Rays, Robbie Ray, Shane McClanahan. So McClanahan continues to work back in it. Giants are starting to not look great, so they need to get some winning done now. Phillies, Marlins, Zach Wheeler making his second start back off the IL. I thought he looked good, minus a few ticks of velo, but he gets Yuri Perez tonight. And the Marlins. Blue Jays, Twins, Patrick Corbin and Simeon Woods Richardson from Minnesota. Dodgers, Cardinals. That's a fun little series. Emmett Sheen, Matthew Liberatore. Braves, Rockies, Grant Holmes, Jose Quintana from Coors. So Braves so Walt Weiss returns to Denver to manage against the Rockies. That's very cool. Mets at Angels, late night one if you're on the East Coast. Christian Scott gets the ball versus Walbert Urena. Two struggling teams. Somebody's got to win those games. Guardians, A's, Cantillo and JT Ginn from Sacramento. And then we have White Sox, Padres, Noah Schultz, fourth career start. Herman Marquez from Petco. And our last game of the night, Cole Reagans, who had a nice bounce back start his last time. He gets Brian Wu and the Mariners in Seattle. So that's it. Appreciate you guys. When's my next NBC Peacock game? Is the 10th. I will be back in Kansas City on the 10th. I'm not doing this week. It's Anthony Rizzo in my role this week. But thanks for hanging with me today. I will see you guys tomorrow night on Baseball After Dark, 9 p.m. Eastern, or I will see you on Monday for Baseball and Coffee. All right. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Thanks so much for hanging with you guys, and I'll see you guys later. All right. Bye-bye.